Hey YouTube, you're right here. Welcome back to Psychedelic Narwhal. Here's this aka the sc1425 Dell PowerEdge. I said that completely wrong, but I don't think it really matters. I mean, it kinda does. This is right there. The 1U form factor, unlike the other one, which is 2U. So there's the power button. Right here is the mystery button that seems to be on every Dell PowerEdge server. Hard drive light. The ABCD status light that I can't get to work. The info thing. 2 USB 2.0s. And some vents all along the front of it. And of course the rack mount ears. And this thing actually has its rails. And there's a Zora right there. You see, there's the power supply. It's got 2 fans on it, but it's a single power supply. There's PS2, serial, VGA, more USB 2.0, gigabit connection, and the top one can actually be used as a direct connection. And then the info thing, and more ventilation, and then the SCSI card that I have in there. That's temporary. I did have a network card in there. And I'm actually gonna switch them back, so here, I'll show you how it's done in a minute. So let's start with the front half of the machine. So there's a drive bay right here. There's supposed to be one there too, but it's not there, so this is just kind of sitting there. That's my WD silver from my HP build. And of course a CD-ROM drive, I think. No, it's DVD-ROM. Oh, okay. It's connected by SATA there. But it turns to IDE. So I'm not sure what that's about, but there's also the connector. And you can see this actually runs from here. You can see CD-ROM through here, through this hole, into the IDE connection. And yes, that entire hole there is for cables to run through to this over there. So there's like, what, 4 different sections in this build? So there's front panel I/O, more ribbon cables and stuff. There's the quote-unquote PC speaker. There's 8 Sanace 40s, loud fans. These things are incredibly loud. And I'll make a video where you can like hear them running. And then here's a Delta, which was modified so it would plug in again. There's your system battery. Yeah. So let's start off with this side, I guess. So this is where all the other fans connect to. Of course this fan connects there. There's your 2 SATA ports, the chipset, system battery as I said. And front panel I/O and IDE and some capacitors. What's this? It's weird. And some kind of transistor or something, I don't know. And of course this SCSI card. If you pull this out, set that there, then you'll be able to pull this out. It's an Adaptec AIC SCSI card. As you can see, well, somewhere around here. Yeah, Adaptec. Here's a network card. This is the one that used to be in my computer. I was going to use a different one. You can see there's 2 lines because it's PCIX compatible, but it's mainly PCI. But it can be both PCI and PCIX. And you see, you line this up with that. Take this piece, make sure these little things are at the top, and this middle piece is facing this way. There you go. Now if you look on the back, connect your network connection. Yeah. See, there's a nice big heatsink there. It's probably for like I don't know what that's for, actually. I don't know if it's like a north or south bridge. I know this is the north bridge because it's next to the CPUs. So, let's get into area number 3. Let the camera focus. So under here is an Intel Xeon. I don't know how many hertz this thing is because I can't boot it. And if you pull on this thing, this whole piece will come out. You can see it's actually a shroud, like wind tunnel, and it separates right there for the CPUs. See, it's just a vent. There. And you can see the other side of the fans. Wow, they are very dirty. There's an empty CPU socket. I think the reason why there's not another CPU in here is because this slot doesn't work. Here it does, or it's not, I don't know. But we only have one CPU in here. Yeah. There's all the RAM. I don't know how much of it works. I know these two work. Like, I know these work because these were originally from my computer. I'm trying to do this one-handedly. There we go. Yeah, I don't know how many megabytes or gigabytes that is. And there's all your back connectors. Then right here, the CPU, your 8-pin CPU connector. And of course your 24-pin power connector, motherboard power connector. And then in the last section is just the power supply, and that goes to the drives. Yeah. And 450 watts max. Not sure what this would average around, probably like 250 maybe, like half that. And average, like idle state. So I guess you could say it runs pretty decent. And if you're wondering, here's the lid. See if I can get this over like this. There we go. I don't know what this black thing is. It's probably like some kind of thermal protection from the power supply because it's just exposed like that. Unlike in the 2650 where it's like there's like a power supply basement. And here's all of these if you want to screenshot it. And you can see there's all the DIMM slots, the PCIX processor. This is processor 1. IDE. Fan 2 through 5. And fan 1. Yeah. CPCon. What? CPCon. USB header, aka front panel I/O. What was the CP thing? Oh, that's front panel I/O. Okay. So these are just USB 2.0s. This whole thing is front panel I/O. And like the ABCD thing, the status things. This thing really is it seems pretty good with airflow. I mean, when you look at it, snap that back in. I mean, and the reason why this is like this is so this whole area here is walled off and all the air coming from all of 8 fans here is so it just tunnels through this area, and that is it. And this whole section over here is being cooled by this fan, and maybe if there's a fan on the expansion card that you put in, which probably won't because the only cards that are like that are video/graphics cards, which you can't really use for here. These are mainly used for sound cards, or network cards, or whatever, like maybe RAID cards. I don't have any RAID cards, though. And all of this air is kind of channeled through here. But you can see this does come down here. Oops. Sorry for the weird camera angles. I'm kind of looking through my eyes instead of your eyes, so I apologize for that. Let's throw the lid on. I'll have to include a clip of this running. I hope that didn't capture my face. Don't worry. You'll get to see my face eventually. Sorry for the weird camera angles. Just secure it. You can easily screw them in with.
Is that okay to walk in the kitchen or no? Is that okay to walk in the kitchen or no?
Okay, sometimes it's. Alright, turns out I just had the lid was elevated a little bit, so you can see now it's going all the way. Sorry about the stuff in the background. I can't help that. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Well, I mean, this isn't mounted right, so you can also see there.
I just stole your baby.
That's how dirty this water is getting.
I stole your baby.
I'm almost done though. As soon as I'm done walking in here.
You got a new store.
Huh?
Did you go to the store already?
Yeah, I got milk, Brandon.
Okay. Yeah, Isaac, you can have milk.
Yeah, you know what? Never mind. Listen, just trust me when I tell you it's an Intel Xeon. Okay? Alrighty. I guess we'll just make this really quick. Here we go. It got quieter, but so there's nothing on there. But for some reason, the fans rev up. Feels like a blow dryer coming out from back here. See the info. Alright, that's it. Dell PowerEdge sc1425. As always, have a nice day and thank you for watching.